What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Headmaster's Hardhead. So this is a reissue. It had a little bit more detail and paint on it, and so they're putting these out again with those retro packaging, which is pretty cool. We got a few more of these. So we got the Headmaster's Brainstorm, the Headmaster's Mind Wipe, and Chrome Dome. I did already take a look at the Brainstorm, so we'll take a look at this one today. But here he is in his vehicle mode. Pretty cool looking little tank. Got the treads here. It does have wheels. It's got one single wheel on the front. This translucent yellow, and then translucent yellow wheels on the back. It does roll very smoothly. You do have this articulation here on this tank, although it's a little bit on the loose side. I don't think its results may vary. I think that's just how it's designed. So you can kind of get it all the way up like this, or you can have it flat. In the picture, it shows that they have it set up with this up like this, but it doesn't stay that way. I guess if you move it to the outside, you might be able to stay, and you can have it like that. He does come with an additional weapon, so here's the other weapon. You can put this in a couple places, but the place they show is on top of the gun, so you can put it there. If you actually, I guess there isn't another spot. Usually there's a spot on the sides here, but this one doesn't have an additional storage spot. We'll talk about the treads in a little bit. I do have some issues with the treads, but here is the Headmaster himself. And I gotta look up his name because I don't remember. Duros. His name is Duros. Let's get in close on Duros. And he does have paint on the head. Got that brown with the blue eyes and then the yellow face mask. Here's the head, which we'll see more in the robot mode. Pretty nice looking Headmaster. He moves the same just like any of the others. I believe this came around the Titans Return line, but I don't remember if it was exactly that time. He does have the knees that bend and then the hips that bend, and that's really it. Overall, pretty nice. You can open up this cockpit just like all of the Headmasters. He has the same gimmick. You can actually fold his legs flat, and he'll just sit in there like that. You can close up that cockpit, and that's pretty cool. You can also, if you take this or move that out of the way, you can also open up this panel here, and that reveals a little seating area. If you wanted to take a different Headmaster, you could put two in here, so you can actually seat two. So there you go. You can have two Headmasters working together side by side. You can actually fold this all the way down. Let's see. Like that. And then store it. And I think that actually looks a little bit better. It looks a little bit nicer. There's Hardhead with the Earthrise runabout. Kind of the same size, pretty much. I mean, a little bit wider, a little bit taller. I'm not really sure what this is supposed to scale with, but it can fit with your Earthrise line if you wanted it to. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode. You can first take this off. Take this off and close up this. You can actually leave this on here if you wanted to. I'm going to take it off. Just it's not the tightest fit there, so we'll just set that aside and go ahead and work on this. Go ahead and pull these away from the sides. You can see these are going to be the arms. Go ahead and pull out the hands, and give you a little more room here. You can pull these down on these elbows, and you'll see that's pretty much the arms are done. Pretty simple. Go ahead and take the legs, and you're going to pull those away from the sides. Go ahead and close up this crotch piece. Open up this chest here, and that's going to flip all the way around. The wheels are going to go through that hole in the back, and basically going to tab in right there. It does have that black Autobot logo. That's pretty cool. Go ahead and bring this down, and then this is going to come down and peg into his back. And you can see there's a tab right there that's going to go into the back of his crotch. Let's go ahead and get that tabbed in. Go ahead and take this panel here, and that's going to fold up, and then this is going to sit like this, and that's where the gun's going to sit. So let's take care of his legs. Go ahead and push these in, both sides. Get his feet folded out. His arms fixed up here. Go ahead and take the gun, and that's just going to sit right there on his shoulder. And the final touch, of course, the Headmaster, go ahead and fold up his legs. They like to have the face, I mean, it just fits better with the face forward. So get that in there. Before I forget, let's get a close-up of his head sculpt. Pretty nice looking detail on the head sculpt. I don't remember if the originals look this nice. I think they just are doing a good job with the paint. Maybe the sculpt is the same, but they're doing a really good job on all of these in terms of the paint and the look of the heads. And there is Hardhead in his robot mode. Pretty nice looking. Let's take a look at the details. You do have the red and silver paint here, the yellow paint there on the crotch. On the side here, you've got the red and silver paint on the legs and the arms. That's the same paint we saw in the vehicle mode. You do have this cockpit that's painted this green color. You can leave a Headmaster in here, or if you wanted to have it on his shoulder mount, you could have it in here as well. Just as an extra little feature there. He does come with his gun, so let's get that gun into his hand. Pretty nice looking weapon. And overall, he looks good. I do kind of wish you could sort of have him holding that gun. His hips are a little bit loose. We'll talk about that when we get to the articulation. But he will stand up and in some good poses there. So let's go over his articulation. His head is on that ball joint for the actual Headmaster. So it does have side to side. It goes down to there, up to there, and rotates all the way around. Although this cannon does kind of hinder it from moving. The shoulder does go up and down here. Rotates all the way around and can go up to there. You have a rotation at the bicep. It does have a double jointed elbow, but just because of the way it's configured, you don't really get much past 90 degrees, but you can do that. The wrist does rotate, and it also goes in and out on this transformation joint. Moving down, you have no waist swivel. Kind of weird. It feels like they could have put one in, but I guess they chose not to. Legs go up to there, back to there, out to there. A rotation at the mid-thigh and a little bit of rotation at the upper thigh. I do find this one's really tight to the point where the leg tends to pop off this mushroom peg. So you kind of have to get that back on there. But it does rotate there at that mid-thigh. You have a single jointed bend at the knee, gets you 90 degrees. And no pivot or anything at the foot. So there is Hardhead with his mate here, Brainstorm, and also with Optimus Prime. Again, you can fit this in with your Earthrise or really any retail line from Hasbro. And it looks nice. So final thoughts on Hardhead here. I think he looks really nice. I do like the Tampo stuff, which I'm not sure if the original had that, but I think that does look really nice. It's not a sticker. It's actually well done. And I like the paint detail here and there. But one thing that really bothers me with this guy is the joints. The hip joints are a little bit on the loose side because it's a ball peg. That could probably be just tightened up with some floor polish. But out of the factory, it should come a little bit tighter than that. It just feels like it's a little bit loose. And so that makes posing a little bit challenging. Because he doesn't have an ankle tilt, you have to kind of get his ankles flat on the ground. So you end up sometimes using this, which is not... it's not an articulation joint, it's a transformation joint. But other than that, other than those joints, I think it's a cool figure. It is a reissue, but it's a nice looking version of Hardhead. So if you're looking for a Headmaster Hardhead in your collection of, deluxe scale or just this retail scale in general, then this is definitely a good figure. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.